Hello and welcome to the Best Boys Podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Vince.
You know,
You know.
sometimes you get excited when movies come out. Other times you die slowly inside while you watch trailers for them. Like the Emoji Movie. That last joke, the weird number 2 joke, it's magnifique.
Just kind of puts it over the top.
That has like every child movie trope in it. The fat character, the poop joke, bad person who doesn't want someone to be themselves. You know, just classic.
Another...
That one's gonna be up there with like Snow White,
Oh,
Winnie the Pooh,
is
Lion King.
it's gonna get its own live action.
Live action. What did you watch this week? Last week.
I watched 10 Things I Hate About You with Heath Ledger.
Okay.
That movie is weird. Like it almost seems at times like it's trying to be a spoof of a movie, but then at other times it's like really serious. And I mean I've seen parts of it before, but I never actually watched the whole thing through, and it was kind of a odd movie. But I liked it. It was a good movie. What'd you watch?
That's all you watched.
I've been watching DC's Legends of Tomorrow too. And I finished season 1 of Spartacus.
So how good are the costumes in DC's Legends of Tomorrow?
I don't know what to base them off of, so I mean they're not
based off of other DC shows.
Other DC. So
like the Arrow and Flash.
I mean they're fine. I don't like Firestorm's costume just because it looks weird. Like I mean I don't like the colors of it, but
are they better or worse than? I've watched episodes of Arrow. I don't know characters' names, but the guy that has like a T on his face. You know what I'm talking? The guy with who, when he's not in costume, he has the glasses, the big afro.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But then when he's in costume, he has like the cornrows.
Okay, I know who you're talking
about. The T on his face.
I know who you're talking about, but I haven't seen those ones yet, so
okay.
I don't know what.
There are some dumb costumes. Those shows have dumb costumes.
Mm-hmm.
I watched.
I guess Firestorm's costume is pretty similar. Now that I'm looking at it online, but okay.
Hold on, I have to look this up now because I watched Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, which is a World War II, I think, with David Bowie. It's pretty progressive for its time because it's like it opens with these Japanese soldiers beating up another Japanese soldier because he had sex with a Swedish male soldier.
Oh.
And then the movie is the like captain or the guy who runs this prisoner of war camp where David Bowie is put. He can't figure out why he is so interested in David Bowie's character, but he's in love with David Bowie's character. It was pretty good. I also watched Hidden Fortress, which is like a 50s movie. George Lucas has said it's like the biggest inspiration for Star Wars, and I didn't see it. I mean, there's like one thing where it's the princess is being helped by a guy, but they're trying to kill her.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's literally the only thing. Also, I can't figure out if you're supposed to like these two characters who are like the main characters of the movie because they try to rape the princess a lot. They don't get onto her, but it's implied. Like there's literally a scene where she's asleep and they're like, pick a straw, whoever loses or picks the smaller one has to leave for a couple of minutes. And then the guy chooses it and then he's just like looking at her. Another girl that's with them comes and like is like gonna kill him with a rock.
Alright.
Also, the princess is supposed to be 16 because I think that's all I watched this week. I'm not sure. Let's talk about something we kind of talked about last week at the end of the show. The Venom movie, officially rated R, now officially has its Venom cast, and that is Tom Hardy. I'm excited, but I'm still kind of worried, I guess, because it's still Sony making it. And obviously, we have seen Sony's Spider-Man movies be not great.
Well, maybe we'll have another emo scene and
Tom Hardy being emo.
Yeah, and it'll make the movie so much better.
Well, it's rated R and it's Tom Hardy, and those are the two things that I'm like, okay, it's gonna be good.
Right.
But then
you get Sony.
But then you get Sony, and you're like, all right, well, you can take away the R rating because we haven't seen them do really dark. I guess Spider-Man, was it Amazing Spider-Man 2? Is that the Andrew Garfield ones are Spider-Man? I guess that's kind of dark at the end.
Yeah, the second
when
one.
Stacy dies. Spoilers if you haven't seen anything about Spider-Man ever in your life.
Yeah, but I mean, the way she did die though was kind of brutal.
That's how she dies in the.
I figured,
comic
but
book.
I mean, it was just wow.
Which is why when people were like, "Man, that ending is dark," I was like, "Oh, so they're gonna kill Gwen Stacy? So she's gonna snap her neck and break her spine and just die? It's gonna be Peter Parker's fault." And the third one would have been him being sad about it and him being emo. They probably would have done the same third movie, except for without like Sandman and whatever.
Right.
It really depends on the story and like what they cast. Because if they're just doing like a Venom origin story, that's fine. If they don't do, let's throw Andrew Garfield in the movie, because they're not going to throw Andrew Garfield in the movie. But if they don't do like other villains that are in the movie with him, if it's just him being like trying to figure out what's happening to him and then being Venom and just killing people, slaughtering people. If there's not a scene where he just slaughters people and has that big boy tongue. But it looks like the Venom they are going with is the same one from like the character is it's the one that Topher Grace played, but the actual character is This is the Eddie Brock Venom character backstory. He's a journalist who exposes the identity of a serial killer only for the real killer to be caught by Spider-Man. Thus, he accused the wrong man. Disgraced and suicidal, he comes into contact with the alien symbiote that rejected Peter Parker. The symbiote bonds with him, and they become Venom, and together, they seek out revenge against their mutual enemy. Though he repeatedly comes into conflict with Spider-Man, he also attempts to operate as a hero, albeit a violent one, seeking to save those he deems innocent.
So, do you think Sony is going to ask to borrow Tom Holland?
I don't.
Or do they get Andrew Garfield back?
Because reading it does sound like it's because of Spider-Man that he becomes Venom, so they can't really do, unless they do like make up their own thing, which is kind of what screwed superhero movies in the past. They have no one else cast, and they have no plot summary.
When is this looking to come out? Like 2018?
October
2018.
October 2018.
So they have over a year.
Yes. But if they do try to get Tom Holland or get Andrew Garfield, they're going to have to do the exact same thing as Spider-Man 3, because he rejects the symbiote. I'm not saying they're going to have to do the emo Spider-Man.
They're just going to take clips from the actual Spider-Man 3.
I'm not saying they have to do that.
They're just going to take clips from it and place it in there as flashbacks.
That they could do. They could do flashbacks, but then they would have to have already established Venom as a character, I guess. And also that would mean that would mean that Tom Hardy is Topher Grace in this scenario, which, if you look at them, also talking about this reminds me of, I have to scroll to find this. Oh, this is what it reminded me of. There was a Complex News said that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is the most emo Marvel movie yet. And then I just tweeted them a gif of him messing with his hair. I was like, really? Are you sure? Have you seen Spider-Man 3? I mean, it might not be... It has the most emo character. Unless, like... I guess Rogue in X-Men is a little more emo because she can't do anything. And she's, like, just a sad person.
Yeah.
But other than that...
Tobey Maguire's 42.
Ooh.
Bring back 42-year-old Tobey Maguire.
God, I remember watching the first Spider-Man for the first time, like, on VHS. On a little TV in my living room, and that just makes me feel like.
Well, let's see how old was he then? 2002 minus 1975 is 27. He was 27 then.
Okay, that's makes yeah. Anyways, let's jump to some happier news than Sony maybe or maybe not making a bad movie with Tom Hardy in it. Some backlash on Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Johnny Depp nixed a female villain. He didn't want there to be a female villain.
Oh.
I don't know the reason why, but let's dive in. I just saw a lot of people were getting mad about this. Fascinating piece of info. Writer Terry Rossio, who has a writing credit on every Pirates film thus far, noticed a relevant section of a blog post in which explains that Depp vetoed the idea of a Pirates 5 female villain. Set aside, my version of Dead Men Tell No Tales was set aside because it featured a female villain, and Johnny was worried that it would be redundant to his Dark Shadows, which also featured a female villain. Oh, What?
Oh,
Dark Shadows came out like too long ago for him to think that that would matter.
2012.
Yeah, okay, that's a dumb reason. I get that that's a dumb reason, but at least he didn't say, no, we can't have a woman. Of course, there's also the possibility that all those screenplays simply sucked, but usually, when I go back to read a screenplay that wasn't produced, it holds up, often better than the film that was eventually produced. Sometimes, it just takes a single decision by a single person, often just a whim to destroy years of story creation and world building. Wow, does it need to be said how ridiculous that justification is? And come on, putting aside the super sketchy logic going on there, not enough people saw or remember Dark Shadows for this to be a valid concern anyways. In fact, I'd much rather see Dark Shadows' true star Eva Green as an awful evil villain in Pirates movie than Javier Bardem in a similar role. Yeah, they did the I like the obvious call out, like, seriously? Dark Shadows is your reason?
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh, I can't play an Indian. I already did such a good, or a Native American. I already did such a good job in Lone Ranger. Go see Lone Ranger. Go buy Lone Ranger. I was gonna check Dark Shadows on Rotten Tomatoes. What do you think it has?
It's not good.
Over, under. Higher or lower?
Lower.
37%. I mean, fans loved it with the high of 36%. 46%, my bad. I said the wrong number.
Nice.
I need to check Box Office Mojo for that movie too. If I made this, or if I wrote this article, I would have been like, seriously, with a 36% rating and let's check the box office rating or how much it made. It made domestic total gross $79 million, and the budget was $150 million.
Jeez.
But foreign did make it $165 million. So, do you think that is a good justification to not have a female villain?
No.
Is that another movie you made 5 years ago had a villain? Also, if they did have a female villain, who would you like to see cast? Keira Knightley.
Honestly, they could probably do something with that.
Also, did you see that? I think we've already, it was already, a very obvious thing, but they released a trailer for Pirates, or, a picture thing for Pirates that said, I am whatever the kid's name, Turner.
No, I didn't.
The kid is...
I already guessed
everyone
that, though.
knew.
Yeah, I already figured that.
I think it was on IMDb.
No, it wasn't. It just had
wasn't?
his regular... It just had his first name on it. It didn't have his last name yet.
Oh, now it says Henry Turner.
Now it does?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I figured.
Everyone is so shocked that he is Henry Turner.
It just makes me really excited because of the, how ironic it is that it comes out 10 years later.
Mm-hmm. Wait, was Keira Knightley originally on the IMDb page?
No.
She is now.
Oh.
But also, thinking about the logic and everything, it's supposed to be, we were thinking it's 10 years after when he can come back. So the kid's supposed to be 10 years old? The guy's supposed to be 10 years old? Is that what we're thinking now? That kind of ruins our thought process.
Oh, man.
But also, that kind of fucks with everything. Because these movies have been taking, they don't tell you how far apart they are. But also...
Yeah, that's true.
Him having a kid, us not knowing how old he's supposed to be, but clearly he's not 10 years old.
Yeah, not 10
considering the actor is, let's look at Brenton Thwaites' age, 27, it looks like.
That makes me sad now, actually.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But I don't know. Okay, whatever. Never mind. Well, because
he's 30. He's gonna be playing a 10-year-old.
In the very end of 3, though, it shows. I'm pretty sure it showed.
It shows her holding a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wasn't it like the kid was maybe a couple years old at that point? I think.
Hold on. Let me just look.
If I remember correct.
Oh, he's like a big boy kid. Here, let me.
Yeah, here I see the.
Okay, yeah, you see.
I see the video right here, but yeah, it's.
He's definitely not a baby boy.
No. So. I don't like.
It even says it's okay. The end of it is 10 years later. It says I'm watching it right now. It says
it's supposed to be so. The kid's
scene after credits of At World's End.
Okay, so this was 10 years.
Yeah. It says,
and then So let's assume this is maybe another 10 because it makes me happy that way.
Yeah, I guess that's what they'll probably do. It's like, well, it was 10 years since that movie came out, and the end of the movie is 10 years.
Yeah.
So
that does make me a little bit happier.
That is a big jump for the end of a movie. There's like, you know what? Let's just jump 10 years.
But hey, Keira Knightley coming back, that is pretty awesome.
I hope she's a corpse. It just shows her dying, probably.
Yeah.
Because unless somehow she just, I don't know. I guess we'll have to not wait and see, because I'm probably not going to see that movie.
I want to, but I work that weekend. Maybe I can go Thursday, though. Anyway.
So, Wonder Woman had its, like, early screenings over the weekend, and it has been called DC's best movie yet. Now, that is not a hard title to give a movie made by DC at this point. That's not just me being an asshole. That is very obvious. But it's still one of those things where they did say that Suicide Squad was good before audiences saw it.
True.
Even though Wonder Woman very, very clearly has a direction it's going, doesn't have all the reshoots, doesn't have Jared Leto in it. Thank God. And it doesn't have, the movie is doing the thing that Suicide Squad did where it's like, look at all these musical artists we got to do songs. Isn't this a good movie? We got 21 Pilots to do a song. We got Panic at the Disco to sing Bohemian Rhapsody for us. Isn't this a good movie?
It's a great movie.
Jared Leto mailed people things. Hopefully, Gal Gadot, she has done the Fast and Furious movies before.
Yeah.
Hopefully this one makes it so that she can do, like, good action movies. Not saying that Fast and Furious movies aren't good.
Why are you staring at me?
Because, so, that kind of has me excited, but also, we still have to wait for Justice League. Yeah. And we still have to see if Ben Affleck even wants to do Batman still.
Yeah.
And I think Zack Snyder he hinted at them making a second Wonder Woman. Which, first off, is Zack Snyder now the face of DC movies? And if so...
Here it comes.
Why? Why? Like, he didn't work on Wonder Woman. He's not the director on Wonder Woman. He might be a producer. Like, I closed IMDb for some reason.
Yeah, he's a writer. Zack Snyder is one of the writers.
He's only directing Justice League Part 1 and Part 2, which are... Justice League is now in post-production.
Okay.
Also, Suicide Squad 2 is coming out in 2019.
He's gonna be the producer. Oh, but you want to know what he's directing?
Yeah, he's only directing the Justice League movies. And he's only... Okay, so
But he basically is on everything DC.
Well, not really. He's a producer.
He's a producer.
An executive producer, mostly. Which means he just gives money. And he can tell them what to do.
Yeah. Which is... not that great.
I like how he's also a producer on 2 untitled DC Comics films, which, let's get some speculation as to what those are. We don't have... Is Cyborg's standalone movie announced?
I don't think so. Not that I've heard of.
It is not.
No.
Which, one of those might be that, a Cyborg standalone, and then, who knows? Because Gotham City Sirens is on here, and that's the Women of Batman movie. Which means Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and then ones that are in the comic books that haven't been overdone on the big screen. Deadshot's getting his own movie? I don't know how I feel about that. Anyways, let's not talk about DC too long, or else I might have an aneurysm. So, a TV show. We don't really talk about TV shows that much on here, but... a trailer for one came out on Thursday, and I think we really should talk about this. There is a very famous, I'm going to say it's CBS, I think it's CBS show, by the name of Big Bang Theory.
Oh, okay.
Very critically acclaimed. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. They're getting a prequel called Young Sheldon, which follows the life of...
Did you watch the trailer for that?
I did watch the trailer for it. Did you?
Yeah.
So, I hate Big Bang Theory for the same reason everyone else does. But this seems like it's trying to stay, besides the beginning of the trailer when it's showing you clips from Big Bang and having Jim Parsons doing narration over the show, it feels like it's trying to stay as far away from that kind of humor as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's trying to stay away from the nerds or losers kind of comedy that they're at now, but also it has the really bad jokes where it's Sheldon, so he points out people that have the dress code, and
Yeah,
I guess
but that's Sheldon.
I know, but
so it's a show about Sheldon.
I know, but I don't know who the show's aiming at. But also,
Big Bang fans.
Is it though? Because it doesn't have that comedy. It doesn't have the I'm gonna go see the Green Lantern starring Ryan Reynolds tonight.
Okay, well,
comedy.
I don't know.
I'm going to Ren Fair.
I'm thinking that they're expecting the people who...
Yeah, that's who they want to watch it, but that's not what it looks like it's for. The whole end of that trailer was, like, really good.
Mm-hmm.
With the dad, and he was like, no, I got fired. And then it showed Sheldon having emotion towards his dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so it's going to be, like, a good... But also, we know Sheldon isn't that person.
Yeah.
So they can't really push him into something that he's not character. I will not watch it probably because I'll probably forget it's on.
I probably won't watch it because I really don't watch things on TV as they're airing.
Yeah, that too. I really don't either unless I DVR them. That trailer, honestly, when I watched it, I was like, this isn't terrible. I went into it expecting terrible, but then you watch it and it's like,
yeah, it was really good.
It makes a joke. He makes a joke about his family being apes.
Yeah.
And that he does the stuff that makes him stick out. He has a bow tie and he says, oh, maybe it'll catch on. He wears gloves when holding his family's hands during prayer because he doesn't want to get germs.
Mm-hmm.
That kid is going to get beat up in that show.
Yeah.
There's going to be a scene where he is in a locker. There's going to be a scene where probably if they go like to this level, he's going to be pulled up by his underwear on the flagpole.
Or it's going to be like, and I think it might be like his brother participating in it too.
Like making fun of him?
Yeah. Or like...
Oh yeah, because they're in the same class.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Oh, remember that hilarious part when he points out his teacher's mustache?
Yeah.
And then she's like this when she's talking to the principal and the other teachers about him.
What's the name of this prequel?
Young Sheldon.
Young Sheldon.
The kid in it was really good, in my opinion. He from what I've seen from Big Bang Theory, he is very good at acting like Sheldon character.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau is directing episodes of this, which is like one of the things that made me go, so this might be good, because he directed the Iron Man movies and the Jungle Book movie that came out, the live action one.
I thought this kid was one of the kids from Fuller House, the Netflix one. But it's not. It's just somebody who kind of looks and sounds like him. But yeah, I thought it was... I mean, I liked the trailer. I thought the trailer was good.
Yeah, it looks like it could be good. It looks like it's, it'll do well.
Yeah.
Because it has Big Bang brand, and it has Jim Parsons doing commentary, or voiceover. Unless he's just doing voiceover in the, Anyways, thank you for listening. Please remember to rate and review on iTunes. Share us with people if you want. Tweet at us at Best Boys Podcast. Email bestboyspodcast@gmail.com. Give us topics or movie that you think are good, things you want us to talk about. Other than that, thank you for listening again. Bye-bye.